Good early evening, guys, actually before night time today. How you doing, everybody? Dr. Pepper here, and I'm going to do another Transformers review. This time we're going to be looking at Classics Jetfire, because you do that already, otherwise you have to click the video. So before we begin, I'm just going to give you a quick oversight between this one and his original G1, because it's one of the few Transformers I've actually got both incarnations of. So here we've got the G1 Jetfire and the Classics Jetfire. You can see kind of similarities, except if you've seen G1 then you'll know this is a bit more accurate to the show design, and especially for Stormbringer it looks a lot more accurate. And this is obviously the Valkyrie from the Bandai Macross line originally, so that's why it looks a little bit different how the cartoon works. So there's just a bit of a quick comparison. Mine's broken and missing loads of pieces. Obviously that's why there's no power-up armour, which you're going to see in this one in a minute. But yeah, visible head syndrome, there we go. Which this guy is not a, well, sort of, he kind of suffers with it, but we won't tell anyone. Let him down for a minute. So, here's Jetfire. Got wings that can go like that, or like that. I like it like that. That reminds me more of like a F-15 sort of fighter plane, and it looks more cohesive, I think, as a plane. Underneath, there's some, yeah, there's legs, there's a crotch, there's some arms. You know what's going on here. So this ultimate doesn't do a very good job of hiding the fact that it's a robot in disguise. There's my teeth, you can actually see me now. But it comes up with all this junk that you've got in front of you, and what you do with all this stuff is giving him a power-up mode. So you got the big jetpack thing put on there. Put these blasters or missile launchers here on the sides, and these have almost like a universal kind of post and port system. His guns just kind of attach into his hands underneath there. And what I really like about this next bit is that sort of harking back a little bit to the fact that in the G1 his head has got like these double barrel things that the original one has. To put that on, you just got to lift up the cockpit, do that, so exposing his robot head, and just slide that on. And then the whole cockpit kind of closes around it. So now you've got power up Jetfire mode. There he is, in all his glory. You can do that, and you can. This is all very much display how you want him to look, you know, whatever you. I think that's the official way, like that. A bit more speed. He's got cannons here, here, underneath, and if you pull these back, very dirty spring-loaded gimmick there. But he's a good friend of Lugnut, this fella, for this dirty spring-loadedness. Another thing I like about this, sorry, while I struggle putting them back in, is these rocket boosters are on ball joints, so you can display them however you like. And also underneath, I forgot to mention this earlier on, in standard plane mode, you got fold-out landing gear. Oh, this one's a bit tricky to get out, because I'm pulling it the wrong way. No, he just kind of sits there then. Yeah, you can, there you go, you can see me quite clearly there. Anyway, so fold that all back up. Now for transformation, it's very basic. This is classic, so you know, this is 2006. You can do it with all this kibble on, but to do his blaster you kind of need to pull these pieces off anyway, so may as well. And also I want to show you the basic robot first before I show you the powered up version. So take all this stuff off again. Oh, that wasn't good, I nearly broke the bugger there. Pull that off. Take his helmet off. Take off these guns. Oh, won't be a moment. I'm back. Let's get this sideways so you can see what I'm doing. So, take your Jetfire. Oh, I don't do transformation, what am I talking about? So, Jetfire, why did I want Jetfire? Well, when I started collecting, I wanted to have a very I hadn't read the comics, so I was just trying to think of characters that looked cool and imposing, you know. And it's kind of like a core cast, and that reflects the original cast of Optimus Prime and all that kind of stuff with the Season 3 cast. And I'm a bigger fan of Season 3 in the movie than I am of Season 1 and 2. So I had Warbot Defender, I had the Protector Armour, I had City Commander, I had Cup on the way, and I knew that I kind of wanted to have a five-a-side, like fantasy football. So I knew that I wanted to have five-a-side, so I had an Optimus Prime, I had Jazz, I had Bumblebee, I had Ironhide, so I thought, well, I'll get Ratchet, but it didn't seem to be fitting, the fact that I didn't have a big white and blue robot to be like the Magnus character for that set, so I got a Jetfire, thinking because he was so big in the G1 cartoon that, you know, that kind of could be the G. I didn't know anything about the character, but aesthetically, that seemed to fit like the size of Ultra Magnus, the Sea Commander, and Jetfire. No more about the character, I probably wouldn't have. I would have gone for more like a Prowl or a Sunstreaker or something like that. As it turns out, I got more Transformers anyway, so that plan didn't work out, but I got the Jetfire anyway. I got a Minton box. He's getting a little bit yellow, simply because I lent it to my nephews and they put him on a windowsill. Damn you. So there's Jetfire, in a lovely, lovely representation of his G1 cartoon. If you know anything about the backstory of Jetfire, then ignore this because I'm going to be boring you for a little while. Because of copyright reasons, the toy of Jetfire was Bandai's and not Hasbro's, but at the time that character designs were being used in the Japanese Macross, so they redesigned him for the cartoon and called him Skyfire, and the toy was called Jetfire, and they look completely different. So what you got here is a nice representation of Skyfire, or Jetfire, whatever you want to call him, from the G1. You've got a nice blue chest there. The ear's missing the big backpack, we'll get that into a minute. And a really nice head on a ball joint, which is really cool. And I can't demonstrate. Can I demonstrate it if I do that? No. It's got light piping. It gets blocked by his backpack, but if you pull that down, there you go. You can. Sorry, excuse me. You can kind of see. It's got nice light piping there, but it gets blocked by his backpack. So that's the standard bot mode. He's got not limited, he's got good articulation, but it's 2006, so it goes up and down, bend at the elbow, but it's all very stiff ratchet joints. Perceptor kick. Lots of heavy ratchets in the legs, spin at the legs, a nice little automorph thingy there, that's cool. There we go. So his power up mode. This is meant to be reminiscent of the G1 toy, because the G1 toy came with all these parts they could stick onto them. I'm going to hurry this up, it's going to take minutes. So he had his big backpack, which is like turbine thrusters, so now he can fly. He had his two kind of arm pieces, they were just bits of red plastic that you could stick all over the thing. But this one becomes cannons. He's got his two undercarriage missiles that stick together to become the gun that he has, quite reminiscent of the gun that he has in G1. And finally his helmet. Now I think this helmet is basically just meant to be a somewhat throwback design to the Macross version, just so it looks a little bit like it, sort of, in a way, if you look at it strangely. So here we've got powered up Jetfire, and he looks brilliant, doesn't he? I display him without this, but you know, that's just my own personal opinion. And the gimmick still works in this mode. They pull back. There you go. You can come across like that, so you can fire at people, spring-loaded missiles. There you go. Sorry about that. Oh, that went into my nappy bin. Oh, good. 9 minutes 17. Got to wrap this up. So, classics Jetfire. Should you guess him? Yes. He is brilliant. He fits well into your chug. Sorry. Fits well into your chug line, and back in the day he would cost about 20 quid retail. I got him mint in box for 50, so he is pricey. I have to hurry this up, excuse my man boobs. So, I've been Dr. Pepper here. This has been a review of classic Skyfire. Hope it's been alright, but I haven't garbled too much. Have a good night. See you later.